Buck Jitters has 48 playing cards. Within the game itself, we have count cards. Any card, when you add both ends, that total 5, 10, or 15 are the only count cards available in the deck. For example, the 4-1 is worth 5 points because it totals 5. The 3-2 is worth 5 points. The 5-0 is 5 points. The double 5 adds up to be 10, so that's 10 points. The 7-3 is 10 points. The 8-2 is 10 points. The 6-4 is 10 points. And the 7-8 is worth 15 points. Okay? So keep that in mind. All the other cards within the game itself are used to capture the count cards. There are 9 suits within the deck. They range anywhere from 0 to 8. In any given suit, there are 9 cards per suit. For example, for the suit of 7s, you have the double 7, followed by the 7-8, 7-6, 7-5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0. The double is always the highest value card for their suit, followed by the remaining cards. For the suit of 4s, the double 4 is the highest card, followed by the 4-8, 4-7, 4-6, 4-5, 3, 2, 1, and 0. There are 3 wild cards in the deck. Wild cards have the ability to capture all cards. The highest value wild card in the deck is the rifle, followed by the muzzle loader, then the bow and arrow. A wild card can never be led for a round of play unless it's the only card left in a player's hand. Wild cards catch even trump cards that we'll talk about in a minute. After the cards are dealt, players arrange the cards according to their numbers and their colors, grouping like cards together. A player bids on how many points he thinks he can capture during the rounds played. In this example, this player has received the bow and arrow wild card. The double 8 card is the highest value card for the suit of 8s, as is the double 7 is the highest value card for the suit of 7s. The double 0 is the highest value card for the suit of 0s. So as a player is looking at this hand, he might think of using possibly either 7s if he wins the bidding battle or 4s as being trumps. The double 8 card or the double 7 card is a strong card to possibly capture the point card of 8-7, which is worth 15 points. So this player is thinking about that and keeping that in his mind. As well as the bow and arrow wild card is a high strength card. If he's unable to follow suit, that he can trump in at any time to win a round of play. Okay, the rules state that the minimum bid to start the bidding is 35. However, the bidding may be started with any lower bid, starting with 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, or even 30. Just decide prior to starting the game. Players raise bids in increments of 5. The player to the left of the dealer is the player who starts the bidding. If a player is unable to bid, he says pass. The next player to the left then bids or passes until each player has an opportunity to bid. Once a player has passed, he is unable to bid again until the next hand is dealt. A bidder may continue to raise a previous bid until he passes. Bidding continues until only one player is left having the highest bid, and after all other players have passed. That player then has the privilege of choosing trumps, or says open season, no trumps. When trumps are established, they have the power during play to capture any other suit except wild cards. Trumps can be any number, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or 8. Trump cards can only be captured by higher value trump cards or wild cards. All of the cards capture cards depending on their value and how they are played. In this example, this player would probably choose either 7s to be trumps or 4s to be trumps. If no trumps are chosen by the winning bidder, then that player may call out for an open season. When open season is called, cards capture other cards depending on their value without there being any trumps established. Okay, if a player led off with a 7-5 card, the highest number on the card establishes suit and must be followed. In this example, the 7 is the highest number on the card, so everybody else would have to follow suit and play a 7 if they had one on their hand. The highest value 7 played would win the round. If a player is not able to follow suit, he could trump in if he wanted to. And as previously discussed, if we chose 4 to be trumps If somebody couldn't follow suit and play a 7, they could trump in and play a 4 card to win the round. Or somebody could play a wild card if they couldn't follow suit and win the round as well. For example, the rifle or the bow and arrow. Now, if 2 wild cards are played at the same time in any given round, the highest value wild card would win. Remember, the rifle is the highest card, followed by the muzzleloader, then the bow and arrow. So in this particular case, the rifle would win that round of play. Okay, remember that everybody is trying to capture the count cards within the game. The count cards total 70 points. Every round of play is worth 1 point. So if you have 4 players in the game, you have 12 rounds of play or 12 additional points. The 12 points plus the 70 points means that there's 82 points available. Remember that when bidding. Now, after the bidding battle, the winning bidder is playing against all other players unless you're playing partners. All players are playing against the winning bidder. Remember that. They are trying to keep the winning bidder from earning the points bid. If the winning bidder captures or exceeds the points bid, he alone receives a letter and no other player receives a letter. If the winning bidder fails to capture enough points to meet or exceed his bid, he receives no letter and all other players would then receive a letter. Each letter is written down one at a time by the player's name until the word "Buck Jitters" is spelled out. The first player or team to spell the word "Buck Jitters" wins the game. Okay, let's put all this together now and start playing the game. First of all, let's choose someone to keep score. The scorekeeper will write down each player's name. After the bidding battle, the scorekeeper will write down the bid next to the player's name. For example, if player 3 won the bid with a bid of 35, we would write 35 by that player's name. After all the rounds are played, if player 3 meets or exceeds the 35 points that he bid, player 3 would receive a letter, the first letter being B. The first player to spell out the word "Buck Jitters" wins the game.